Everyone in this town needs you, and almost no one will sit next to you, drink with you, or let their child marry yours. You are the executioner, and you live in a strange gap that few people in history have ever occupied. Essential and untouchable at the same time. You will take a life today, in front of a crowd, as the law demands. And tomorrow, that same crowd may come knocking at your door in secret because you are also, quietly, one of the best healers for miles. Feared as a killer, sought out as a doctor, shunned in daylight, needed in the dark. Let me show you your day. You do not live in the middle of town, like an ordinary tradesman. You live apart, at the edge, near the wall, near the gallows, in a place that marks you as separate before anyone even meets you. Your profession is considered dishonorable, tainted, unclean, and that taint spreads to everything around you. When you walk through town, people step aside, and not out of respect. You may be barred from certain shops, made to enter buildings by side doors, given a marked seat apart in church and tavern, if you are allowed in at all. The stain of your work clings to you like a smell no washing removes. You did not choose contempt. It came attached to the job. And the job, as you will see, was almost certainly not something you chose either. Here is why you are an executioner. Most likely because your father was, and his father before him. The role is so dishonorable that no honorable family will marry into it, which means executioners marry the daughters of other executioners, and the trade passes down through a small web of tainted families, generation after generation. You were born into this. You could not simply leave it and become a baker or a smith, because the honorable trades would not have you, and their guilds would never accept a man with your name and your blood. The gate to a normal life was closed before you were old enough to reach for it. So you took up the sword your father carried, and the isolation that comes with it. Because for a man like you, there was no other door. This is not a career, it is an inheritance, and a sentence. On a day when the law requires you, you rise and prepare with great care, because your work is more skilled and more precarious than the crowd imagines. You are not a brute who swings wildly, you are a professional. And your reputation, even a reputation as dark as yours, depends on doing the job cleanly. You inspect your tools. A beheading sword is a specialized instrument, heavy and precise. Keeping it perfect is part of your craft. For a skilled executioner, a clean single stroke is a matter of professional pride, and, in its own grim way, a mercy to the condemned. You take this seriously. The person you must kill today deserves competence, and the watching crowd will judge you harshly if you fail. In your trade, a botched job is not just embarrassing, it can be dangerous. Killing is only part of what you do, because the town hands you all the work considered too filthy or too tainted for anyone else. You often serve as the one who deals with dead animals, disease, and refuse, the unclean tasks of the community. The same logic that makes you an executioner makes you the town's handler of everything it does not want to touch. This is part of why the taint clings so hard. You are not just a man who executes criminals occasionally. You are the community's designated handler of death and filth in all its forms, the one who touches what others cannot bear to. And yet, buried in all this grim work is a strange and valuable knowledge. Because a man who spends his life around bodies, wounds, and death learns things ordinary people never do. That knowledge is about to make you something unexpected. Here is the contradiction at the heart of your life. You, the killer, the outcast, the unclean man, are also one of the finest healers for miles. Because your work has taught you the human body intimately, you understand bones, joints, wounds, and pain better than most trained physicians, who often learn from books rather than flesh. So people come to you, quietly, often at night, so no one sees them associating with the dishonorable man. They come with broken bones, dislocations, wounds, ailments the respected doctors could not fix, and you treat them, set their limbs, sell them remedies, and often heal them. It can be a serious source of your income, sometimes more than the executions themselves. The town shuns you in the square and slips to your back door after dark. You are living proof that the same hands can deal death and mend life, and your neighbors need both from you while pretending in daylight that you do not exist. Half this town will not sit near you, and the other half knocks on your door after dark. Subscribe at least. It costs nothing, and no one has to know it was you. There is a part of your duty heavier than a clean execution. and honesty requires facing it. In your era, the law permits the questioning of the accused under torture to obtain confessions, and carrying this out is often the executioner's task. It is a grim, methodical business, governed by rules, overseen by officials, and it falls to you. Some men in your position hate this part and carry it heavily. Records survive of executioners who took their duty seriously, who followed the rules precisely, who seem to have wished for the accused to be innocent so the ordeal could stop. You are an instrument of a legal system that believes pain produces truth, a belief that will one day be recognized as a terrible error. You did not write these laws. You carry them out, because that is your inherited role. But you are not required to enjoy it, and many of your kind did not. An execution is a public event, and the whole town turns out for it. Justice, in your world, must be seen to be done. The crowd gathers in the square, and you climb the platform. The one man everyone is watching, and the one man no one wants to be. For these few minutes, you are the center of the entire community, performing a ritual as old as the town itself. You conduct yourself with grave professionalism. There may be prayers, formalities, a final chance for the condemned to speak. Your job is to bring the law's sentence to its end, cleanly and correctly before witnesses, so that everyone sees the order of the world upheld. It is theater, and it is deadly serious, and you are its reluctant star. When it is done, the crowd disperses, and you step back down into your isolation, the necessary man they will avoid again tomorrow. For all the contempt, you are not necessarily poor. A skilled, established executioner can be paid reasonably, per execution, per interrogation, plus fees for your other services, plus your healing income. Some executioners in the great towns become relatively prosperous, respected within their narrow world for their competence, even as the wider world holds them at arm's length. So your life is a knot of contradictions. Financially, you may do better than many an honest tradesman. Socially, you rank below almost everyone. You have money and no acceptance, skill and no honor, a vital role and no place at the table. You can afford a comfortable house, but not a single ordinary friendship with the people who need you. Wealth cannot buy back the honor your birth denied you. In your world, that door stays shut, no matter how full your purse. At the end of the day, you return home, to the edge, to the family that shares your taint, because they share your blood. This small circle, other outcast families, your own kin, is your whole society, because it is the only one open to you. Within it, you are simply a father, a husband, a man. The monster the town imagines does not exist here. Here, there is only the ordinary life you are allowed to have, carefully walled off from everyone else. You clean your tools, both kinds, the sword and the healer's instruments, and you set them side by side because both are yours. Both define you, and together they hold the strange truth of your existence. You are the hand that ends life by law, and the hand that saves it in secret. Tomorrow may bring either duty, or both. You are ready for whatever the town needs, and resigned to the fact that whatever it needs, it will still not let you belong. Step back and ask why your world does this to you, punishing the man who carries out its own justice. It comes from a deep, almost superstitious idea that the act of killing, even lawful killing, even necessary killing, leaves a stain, and that the stain attaches to the person who performs it. The community wants its justice done, but it does not want the guilt of the killing on its own hands. So it appoints one man to carry that guilt for everyone. You are a kind of scapegoat, a living vessel for the blood the community sheds, but does not want to own. By making you unclean and pushing you to the edge, the town gets to keep its justice and its clean conscience at the same time, at your expense. It is deeply unfair, and it is entirely deliberate. Your isolation is not an accident of prejudice. It is a job requirement, the price the town extracts for letting the rest of them feel innocent. So who were you, really? Not the ghoul of nightmare, and not a simple villain. You were a skilled professional, born into a role no one would choose, carrying out the darkest work your society demanded, and quietly healing that same society's wounds in the shadows. You dealt death by law and mended life by lamplight, and you were shunned for the first, while being needed for the second. Some of your kind left records, careful accounts of their work, and through them, we can see past the mask the town forced on you, to the actual person underneath, dutiful, skilled, often uneasy about the cruelty of the laws you served. A man doing an impossible job, with as much conscience as it allowed. History remembered the hood and the sword. It nearly forgot the healer's hands and the human being who owned them. You spent your life on the wrong side of a wall your neighbors needed you to stand behind, so that they could sleep easy on the right side of it. Feared, needed, and never once allowed to belong. Of all the strange lives a person could be born into, few were stranger or lonelier than yours. That is where we leave you. If you survived the video, you are already doing better than the person you just played. So do the small thing. Like it, subscribe, and I will drop you into another life next time. Same voice, same stick figures, someone else's very bad day.